What if the most famous opening line in all of literature was more than just words? Today, we're diving into a theory that claims the very first verse of the Bible is actually a hidden mathematical code, a kind of geometric blueprint for, well, everything. It's a pretty wild idea, right? The thought that Genesis 1:1, a verse known by millions, was intentionally engineered with a secret layer of math and geometry. So let's jump right in and see just how this theory unfolds. All right, so here's our roadmap. How do you get from a simple sentence to a complex code? Well, we'll start with the verse itself, then we'll decode the numbers at its heart. From there, we'll see how those numbers supposedly transform into geometric shapes, and then, this is a big one, we'll explore a surprising link to Christian theology. Finally, we'll look at a whole universe of these patterns and ask the ultimate question: what does it all mean? Okay, so everything, and I mean everything in this theory, starts with this one single verse. Proponents have a pretty grand name for it. They call it the proto-verse. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. You know the words, I know the words, we all know them. But according to this theory, the real secret isn't in what the words say in English, but in the numbers hidden within the original Hebrew text. And listen, the claims being made here are massive. The source material doesn't just suggest a simple little code, it describes an infinitely complex mathematical wonder, a kind of master key designed to unlock other codes supposedly hidden throughout the rest of the scriptures. So how in the world do you turn ancient Hebrew words into numbers? Well, the key to all of this is an ancient system called gematria. Think of it like this. In languages like ancient Hebrew and Greek, every single letter also doubled as a number. So you can take any word or any sentence, add up the numerical values of each letter, and get a single total number. And that is exactly what this theory does with Genesis 1:1. When you do the math for the entire first verse of Genesis in its original Hebrew, you get this number, 2,701. According to the theory, this isn't just some random number. Oh no, it's the foundation for everything that follows, and it has some very interesting properties. So what's so special about 2701? Well, if you break it down into its prime factors, the prime numbers that multiply together to create it, you only get two, 37 and 73. The theory claims these two numbers are the fundamental, almost like the DNA of this entire code. And this is where things take a turn from abstract math to something you can actually see. The theory claims these aren't just numbers on a page. They are literal blueprints for geometric shapes. Okay, so take that main number, 2701. It just so happens to be what's known as a triangular number. What does that mean? It means you can take 2701 little dots or units and arrange them into a perfect equilateral triangle. And it's the 73rd such number. This geometric trick is at the heart of one of the theory's biggest claims. Now check this out. If you take just the last two words of the verse in Hebrew, which translates to "and the earth," their gematria value is 703. And would you believe it? 703 is the 37th triangular number. So what the theory claims is that you have this perfect triangle representing the whole verse, and nestled perfectly inside of it is a smaller, perfect triangle representing just a piece of the verse. But this whole thing doesn't stop with Old Testament Hebrew. This central, most provocative claim connects these ancient numbers and shapes directly to the New Testament, specifically to Jesus Christ. To make this leap, the theory applies the exact same gematria system, but this time to the Greek alphabet, which is the language of the New Testament. And when you do that, the names Jesus, Christ, and the full title Jesus Christ add up to these specific values. Now pay close attention to that last one, 2368. So let's go back to our 2071 units from Genesis 1:1. What if, instead of a triangle, you arrange them as a hexagon? The theory claims that when you do this, the numerical value for Jesus Christ, that 2368, just appears. Okay, let's break this down because it's pretty mind-bending. The theory says if you form the hexagon and then you take out the three main lines that run through the center, the number of units left over is exactly 2368, the value for Jesus Christ. And that inner core, it's 703, the value for "and the earth." So you get this incredible image of the earth geometrically surrounded by Jesus Christ. And believe it or not, we're just scratching the surface. The theory expands out from here, claiming these patterns are all part of this massive interconnected web of mathematical and geometric relationships. It even offers a completely different take on the infamous number 666.
In certain geometric arrangements of the verse, the number 666 appears as a kind of boundary. Proponents see this not as something sinister, but as a symbolic bridge connecting the two realms mentioned in the verse.
And the alleged connections just keep on coming. Remember our core numbers, 37 and 73? Turns out they're also star numbers, which means they can form perfect Star of David shapes. The patterns are also said to pop up in 12-sided figures. It even goes so far as to extend these claims to English, using an entirely different gematria system. And all of this culminates in some incredibly complex, beautiful fractal patterns. I mean, look at this star of stars of stars. It's built directly from the prime factors of the numbers found in Genesis 1:1, creating this amazing, infinitely repeating shape. So, after all of these triangles and hexagons and fractals, what's the big takeaway? What is all of this supposed to be pointing to? At its core, the theory presents Genesis 1:1 as a giant, elaborate rebus puzzle, a puzzle where numbers, shapes, and words all intersect to point to a single divine author who supposedly embedded this mathematical signature into the text itself, foreseeing events thousands of years in the future. So, what do you make of it all? Is this evidence of an ancient divine blueprint hidden just beneath the surface of the Bible? Or is it an incredibly elaborate tapestry of coincidence, a testament to the human brain's amazing ability to find patterns in almost anything? We've laid out the theory for you. Now it's up to you to decide.